Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to this episode of the Note Closer Show. Scott Carson here with you. As always, excited to be here today, especially in this episode. Over the last, one of the great things about marketing and doing all the different podcasts and videos and sharing those different places is we give people plenty of opportunities to contact us, whether it's through an email, a text message, opting into one of our, texting notes to 72,000, or just going to the website and commenting there and liking something. I encourage everybody to check in with us. I encourage people to reach out, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. I highly encourage it. I want to hear from you. But when I hear from you, don't be surprised when I'm talking with you that I'm going to give you some sound advice. I'm going to give you something that you can use to expand your real estate business, actually just help you with your marketing all in all out, to take it to the next level. And I wanted to title this episode, There is No Shortcut to Success, because there is no shortcut. You have to put the hours in. There is no magic Willy Wonka lottery ticket. There is no lottery that you can go win the Powerball. There is none of that. You have to put the work in first and foremost. That means putting in hours each day, putting in hours each week, looking at what you're doing on a regular basis and doing the most optimized thing that you can do. Now, you also, if I tell you to do something, if I give you the advice to doing something, it's not to hurt you. It's not to harm you. Heck, I'm only going to give you things that I would actually do myself or am doing myself or have done in the past. Now, one of the things I get phone calls all the time. People schedule phone calls. I love talking to Note Nation. I love talking to our members. And the thing that I want you guys to know is I want to hear from you. Whatever your experience is, the good, bad, long, new, whatever. I had a great phone call with a guy today who is working part-time as a real estate investor, works full-time in sales. Unfortunately, had some of his money taken in a Ponzi scheme years ago. So he's a little snake bit. He's like, I want to get started, but I don't have a lot of extra income. I'm like, that's great. No problem. And I told him, I said, listen, this is not an overnight success. You're not going to make $1 million in the first 60 days. You're not going to make $1 million in your first 6 months. You're not going to make $1 million in your first year. If you want to make six figures, you can, but you've got to put the work in. If you want to replace your income, if you want to replace what you're making at your job right now, you have to set the time aside to do this. I think we've all heard that to be an expert at something, you've got to spend 10,000 hours at doing something. Well, look at it this way. If you only spent 2 hours a week, all right, 2 hours a week, and you did that one night a week, that's 10 hours. I'm sorry, it's 100 hours in a year, okay? It would take you 10 years to get to 1,000, and you'll never get there. And unfortunately, a lot of people want to do their bare minimum to find success. Most people want to do the least I have to do, and that's unfortunately the wrong answer. The question should be, not the answer. The question is, what do I need to do? What all can I do? All right. One of the most profound quotes I've ever heard is, I was attending Traffic and Conversion Summit, which is a huge marketing convention in San Diego. I don't know if it was this year or last year. It was probably last year when Damon John, Shark Tank, founder of FUBU, was one of the guest speakers. And he's talking about how overnight success for him was 8 years. Most of us want to have success happen overnight, but we're not willing to put the work in. And it never happens overnight. It didn't happen overnight for me. It didn't happen overnight for anybody in the note business for the most part. Eddie Speed, Donna Bauer, Dave Van Horn, Troy Fullwood, some of the bigger names out there. It didn't happen to us overnight. It happened to us because we put in the time. We put in the days. We put in the work of doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, okay? That's what you've got to keep in mind. This business is a fun business, but you're doing a lot of the same things over and over. If you love what I'm saying, you're watching this live, give me some love, give me some thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. If you're listening to this on iTunes or any of our podcast platforms, hey, give me a review, subscribe. We'd love to have you. But the only way I've gotten to where I'm at today, especially with the podcast here, the only way I got to where I'm at today is by doing videos over and over and over and doing episodes over and over, to the point we're coming up on episode 500 sometime late July, 1st of August. That's the only reason I've gotten to where I've gotten, is because I've put in the work, put in the time. And you have to put in the work, put in the time, no matter what it is. Now, if you want to go the route of mailing postcards and sending letters, that's fine. If you want to put in the work of filling out bandit signs and putting that on the roads, that's fine, okay? You have it just is what it is. I see people doing it all the time. I'm like, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. If you want to do the least amount, then what I would do is spend time marketing, not the old way of doing marketing. I would do the smart way of marketing, okay? You have to do the simple things on a regular basis. You're not going to get to 1,000 notes by sending out one email blast or sending out one letter campaign. It doesn't work that way in the note investing side, okay? You have to do things on a consistent basis, on a regular basis of doing the same things. And this is all about, as I like to, you're going to build wealth over time. And I don't care if you're going after non-performing notes or you're going after performing notes or you're going the partial route, okay? I don't care who you're learning from, me, Eddie, Donna, Troy, any of the guys that they're teaching stuff. As long as you're doing the actions on a regular basis, you will find success if you continue to follow up and do the things that you need to be doing on a daily, weekly basis. Don't get me wrong, life gets in the way of all of us. We get sick, we take vacations. This summertime right now is when a lot of people are taking time off. God knows I took a big chunk of time off to enjoy myself and our annual vacation. But it's still doing the same things in, day out to make you successful. That's what it comes out to. Success is not an overnight. It's not going to happen overnight for any of you guys out there. And unless you got $1 million suddenly donating, you go out and buy a pool of notes with your $1 million earnings, it's not going to happen, okay? What you have to do is realize and set realistic goals for yourself. Give yourself some flexibility. Give yourself the opportunity to learn over time with these milestones. I'll give you an example. One of the big milestones I set early on in the note business when I was reaching out to banks and asset managers, that the end of year one, I wanted to be direct to 100 asset managers and banks, okay? This is going back over a decade ago, all right? I want to be direct to 100 asset managers. That means I had them on my phone, okay? I could dial them, I could text them. What did I do to get there? Well, here's the secret. If you want to know the secret sauce of how I got to where that was, where we started having deals sent to me, it wasn't mailing out letters to them. It wasn't mailing out postcards. What it came from is literally dialing for dollars and connecting with them online. And that's one of the easiest things. If you're a part-time note investor in this business and you're wanting to find deals, you got to do that. Most people sit around on their thumbs waiting for the low-hanging fruit to show up, the condors or the old granite tapes or the direct store stuff. People want that low-hanging fruit because they don't have to do any work. They make one contact. They send them a list every month or quarter. Okay? They wait for that. Here's the magic thing, is if you're all able to sit at home, you're all able to sit at your office. Many of you are working full-time JOBs, and that's totally fine. Okay? Glenn asked a question, if I learn this skill set, I could use other people's money. Correct. Yes, you can use other people's money all day long, Glenn. That's correct. Hey, Brian Murdoch. Yes, love from another brother from another mother. Exactly. Good to see you guys out there this morning. So here's what you can be doing. Very simple. If you learn marketing, that'll apply no matter what type of real estate you're in. Okay. If you get tired of notes, we'll go to fix and flip side or the lien lord or Airbnb. I don't care. Wholesaling, marketing work. But what you can do, the bare staple of what you can do in your part-time at night, on the train, on the bus, on flights, is something I still do to this day. It's very simple. I go into LinkedIn. You can have the free account, but I would make sure you have your profile filled out completely. It's got to say something about real estate investing or note investing. I don't care if you have another job that's in there as your main priority place. And yes, banks will deal with you. They will deal with you as long as you pass the smell test. And the LinkedIn, having a complete LinkedIn profile is the first smell test. What you have to do next, as a profile, is start reaching out. Type in special asset managers, secondary marketing professionals. Type in those two titles in the categories. And you know what? You'll see a list of people that have that in their profiles. Now what you do, you go to LinkedIn and change it from the connections tab first of all, you look for people, not job titles when you look for special assets. So it gives you 1 million plus people that have that category, secondary marketing or special asset managers. And then you click on connections to second connections, people that you don't have a connection to. And you know what you do? You start sending them messages. Now, if you don't have that many connections on LinkedIn, it's going to limit you, the amount of people you can connect with. You use that until you can't use it anymore. All right? And by doing it on your computer, you'll limit out faster than you would on your cell phone. So the key to making this work effectively is to be able to copy paste what you're going to say to these asset managers in a simple thing, whether you're using Notepad or Microsoft Word doc on your computer. Simply, hey, just wanted to see what you might have on your books. And if you're the right person to talk about buying your institution's NPNs or PNs. PNs performing notes, NPNs non-performing notes. Love to visit, buy from my own portfolio. Would love to hear from you. Scott at WeCloseNotes.com. Something simple. You're going to be limited on the number of characters you can put in that box, but that's what I would do. You might want to include a link to a short video. Maybe record a short 5-10 minute video about what you're focused on, what you're looking for, and include that link in there. That's a nice thing. That can help you get the word across. But you could connect with 100 people on that list. You know, literally copy, paste, copy, connect, copy, paste, connect, copy, paste, connect, copy, paste. You could do that while sitting there watching TV, sitting there, you know, watching the World Cup, sitting there at night, okay? Sitting on the train, sitting on the bus, sitting on the plane, waiting at the airport, okay? That's one of the things that you can do. I still do this to my day. I'll sit down there and connect with asset managers. I'll connect with real estate investors. I'll connect with podcast hosts, you know, because you got to realize only about 20% of people are going to open your emails. It's going to be a little bit higher rate than on LinkedIn. And no, you don't have to have the paid version of LinkedIn. You can do on the free version. Paid version will give you a few more emails. But that happen, okay? What will happen is you reach out to these people. They're going to look at your profile. And they see if you've got any, you know, real estate investing experience. Hopefully you've got a paragraph that where you're looking for. Maybe you've got some projects, some fix and flips or wholesale, whatever some type of deals you've done. Maybe put some of those down on the project side of your LinkedIn profile. But that's going to be a really powerful thing to do. Now, a tool that I like to use is there's a software called LeadFuse. LeadFuse is a really great thing that you can use. I think it's $97 a month for 1,000 leads. I use that to run that for a variety of things. Where I'll look and type in secondary marketing or special asset managers, secondary marketing professionals, and look for leads that have just their email showing. And like I did this on Saturday, and I was able to pull quick 809 leads, 1,209 leads on Saturday. And now I've got that person's name, their contact information, their LinkedIn profile, sometimes their Twitter or Facebook profile, their phone number, and a chunk of the things. But now I have a name that I can do a mail merge and do a direct email out to them. Well worth the $97 a month I pay for it, because it helped me narrow that down. Now, what I want to do, I want to reach out to them. I want to connect with them, okay? Whether it's through LinkedIn, saying the same thing. Now I have their email address. Boom, I can follow up with an email out to them as well. Now I just made 2 touches with them, okay? Now, if you send an email out through MailChimp or Infusionsoft, you can see who actually clicked on the email. Oh, my God. Now, those are the people that I would call. Those are the people that would pick up the phone. Those are the people, if you have 809 you send out or 1,000 you send out, you have 200 people that are probably going to roughly open that email. That's 200 phone calls. That's 3 to 4 days of phone calls. Okay. Now, if you're working full time, I know it's going to be hard to make phone calls throughout the day. This is why you want to leverage technology. You want to leverage sending an email out through MailChimp or Infusionsoft and having it go out during the day while you're at the work. Then you can come home at night and log in to see how many opened your email. If you got like a 10% open rate, congratulations. That's a great start. Connect with those people on LinkedIn. Send a message as well. Hey, just wanted to follow up on the email I sent you. Very few people do this. I had a lady call me this morning and says, what's the least that I have to do? I said, well, the least that you have to do is nothing. She goes, what do you mean by that? I don't find that's like you won't have any success. The least amount you do. You should be looking, what's a little bit more that I can do? What's a little bit more that you can do? Okay? A little bit more goes a long way. That little extra 5% adds up to a lot of time. Now, one of the things that's important to do, to keep in mind, Glenn Parrish, you're right. Just wanted to reach out to see if your institution has any NPNs or PNs that you're looking to unload, and if you're the right person to talk to. Okay. If you want to get more information, we've got an amazing training program, noteblueprint.com. That's noteblueprint.com. Easy way for you to sign up with tons of with educational stuff, but more so, it's just getting the habit. Contacting LinkedIn, sending an email with a phone call. If you got 100 phone calls and you're limited to an hour a day because of your break or things like that, hey, maybe you just need to dial for dollars. Maybe you just need to leave a message. Call at night, leave a message if you can find a direct message. Now, a lot of times you're not going to see a direct phone number. It's going to go to a voicemail or it's going to go to a switchboard, and you're going to have to leave a message there or try to use the dial by name directory. Okay. Well, you have to look at see where that person is located to identify the best times. The best times, if you do have time to call, 10 a.m. to noon, their time frame, or 2 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. Sometimes you can reach them on a Thursday night before the end of the quarter, like this coming Thursday night. Since this is like the last week of the month, they may be hanging around to see what's going on the end of the month. Thursday nights are always a good time because they don't want to hang out on the weekends. Sometimes calling on Saturday afternoons. You'll get people in the office working at the end of the quarter because they're creating their quarterly reports, okay? Now, a really valuable thing to do is also track this stuff, okay? So you have to keep in mind, that you have to track this, and you also have to set some time to schedule this. And what I mean by this, in scheduling this, okay, is time blocking your schedule. I know last thing sometimes you want to do when you've had a long day at work is come home and go back to work. But this is why I'm telling you not to spend 10 hours in the evening, maybe 2 hours at night. You can do this LinkedIn strategy and email at night. You can do it in the mornings before you go to work. You can do it in your spare time, okay? Because let's face it, if you got family and kids, you're not going to come home from work and spend 8 hours working on something else. That's not fair to them. It's not fair to you. You got to loosen up your brain. You got to relax and do this on something that makes sense for you. You got to do this at a time where you got some flexibility. You got to sit down with a family. You got to recharge those batteries. But tell your spouse, or hey, give me 2 hours a night. Let me come home. I'll have dinner. I'll hang out, and I need to spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours of work working through this. And that's why I say, if you can do this 2 to 3 to 4, say if you can get 10 hours in a week, you're going to hit success 10 times faster than you would if somebody who's only spending 1 day or 1 hour a week. Okay. So I'm trying to get at easy bites to do this. Now, one of the most valuable things you can do, somebody talked about using other people's money, is you got to network. You have to take your database of contacts, people you meet at business events, at networking clubs, RIAs, expos. Okay. Take those business contacts and put their business cards in a spreadsheet. Put them, upload them as a contact in your database, into your MailChimp or Infusionsoft account. And those are people that you want to email out to. Now, I'm not talking about like, hey, buy my shit, okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I'm talking about is, hey, let's talk. Hey, here's what I'm focused on. Because those people that you meet at RIA clubs, that you meet at expos, you know what? They're in the starting blocks too. Or maybe they're a little ahead of you, but they're looking to do something. And many people are scared to do things. They run around all crazy, like a chicken with their head cut off on a Chinese fire drill, all right? When if you have a plan of action, you will get more things done than just trying to be a gunslinger in the wild, wild west. And this is why I get into the whole of time blocking your schedule, your week. Because otherwise, if you don't time block, life will get in the way. You'll find there's other things to keep yourself occupied. You'll find things to do to avoid sending an email blast out, to jumping on LinkedIn, to doing the things that you need to do. It's very easy to do. I'll get to that later. We all do it. Okay? So cut yourself some slack. It's never too late to start today. Okay? Start planning that forest. Start planting that success trees right now. All right? So here's really 10 to 15 hours a week. You can be a note investor, whether actively or passively. Now, passively, I think you should be taking an active approach, okay? Passively, you're going to be making a return on investment for the most part. Otherwise, because it's a lot of hurry up and wait in the note business. Hurry up, send an email, wait for a list to come. Hurry up, make bids, wait for counters to come back. Hurry up, get them serviced, wait for the service, board them. And then going from there, hey, send letters out to the attorneys or send letters out, direct mail out to the borrowers and go from there. Now, another thing that you can do in your part-time to find note deals, okay? To find note buyers and sellers. Very simple to do, okay? Go to your county clerk or go to the county clerk of any county that you're buying in that allows for you to search, okay, by document type. All right. Go to your county clerk. If you're in Travis County, Texas, go to Travis County Clerk. If you're in Cuyahoga County or buying in Cleveland, go to there. All right. Doesn't matter. If you go to now in Orange County in California, they're not letting you search by, I don't think they'll let you search by name. I don't know if they'll let you search by document type. I think it's all would be address type. But if you go to the actual county, they'll let you do the searches. But here's what I would do. I have done this. Maybe you reach out to a title company to do this. You've got a good title relationship. Pick a county that you like. Okay. I happen to like Orange County, Florida, which is the Orlando area, right? And we pull annually a list of assignment of mortgages or just assignments, okay? Assignment of mortgage is what transfers an ownership when a note is being bought or sold, okay? I sold some notes. We have an assignment of mortgage being filed, okay? That's an easy thing. If you do look for an assignment of mortgage in a county and you see who was the original mortgage company and who they sold it to, whether it was to another mortgage bank or another company or to an investor, you get this huge list of names. Okay, so let me give you an example. Last year, Orange County, Florida, there was over 15,000 assignments recorded and transfers. Okay, 15,000. Now, when you narrow that down, it came to roughly about 7,500 unique entities. Now, a lot of that is the bigger banks, the Wells Fargos, the Bank of Americas, the Deutsche Banks, those kind of things. But there is a tremendous amount of smaller institutions, smaller entities in that list that are buyers and sellers of note deals. Okay? All right? You have to realize that those are opportunities for you. Now, if you want to, then you got to Google it. Now, what you'll find with a lot of those is they're entities that may be special purpose entities. They may not have a website. But a lot of them will be a company that you can reach out to. And what would you use to track those people down? Well, you could just Google the company name, but you could also go over to LinkedIn, type in the entity, and try to find somebody in charge of special assets, secondary marketing at those institutions, or the VP of special assets, or just the person in charge. Okay? That will give you a lot of stuff. You can do that at any time. Okay? Now, you can run the searches anytime by going to Netra Online and using that. That'll give you to every county in the country. Okay. What you could also do, if you've got a title rep in an area that you use or somebody that you use on a regular basis, you can reach out to them, see if they'll pull that for you. Some title companies will charge for it because it might take them some time to pull it too and organize it. But all you need is the institutions on both sides of the assignment. Okay. You don't really care about the address. You just want what's the assignee and the assignor names. And now you've got two names and a ton potential leads on note buyers and sellers. Okay. What's a beautiful thing is you'll often see people who have used their IRA to fund the note purchase. And you'll see, Quest IRA or Quest Trust for the benefit of John Michaels. Okay. Or Equity Trust for the benefit of Brett Michaels, whatever. Okay. Those are great leads, not only for note deals, but potential private money context. Somebody who's already bought and sold a note, they understand the process. I mean, like Quest Trust Company tells us that paper, notes, origination, or buying non-performing stuff, partials, is their biggest percentage of their portfolio. Okay? That should tell you something. This is why we tell people, hey, check out the appraisal districts and the county clerk for typing in these self-directed IRA trustees to find potential investors that are using their IRAs to either buy assets, buy properties, or to lend. Okay? These are all simple things that you can do on a regular basis. So here's what I would do. One night, here's what I would do. On Sunday night, I would make your 2-hour Sunday night all about writing your email that goes out Monday to your database. Do it 24 hours prior to, if you can, because then you can use a tool called Time Warp on MailChimp. So you pre-schedules to go out in the time zone that you want. So if you want to go out 9 a.m. Central, it goes out 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. 9 a.m. their time zone. That's a really smart thing. I'd have it go a little bit later instead of 11, but your email goes out to your database. I think 7 p.m. is a great one. So maybe you want to spend some time Saturday night writing an email so that it goes out Sunday at 7 p.m. or Saturday afternoon, spend 2 hours working to have that go out. All right. So that's an hour. It's going to take you an hour. First time you send it out, it's going to take you 2 hours because you got to set your profile up. You got to set up your template. You want it to look good. Always have somebody look at your email, your sample email before it goes out so they can pick up little mistakes, typing, grammar issues, link issues. That's a huge thing. But an email, 2 hours a week. Because once you want to get one going, it's going to be faster and faster each time you send it out. So you want me to send up an email that goes out to your database and then also goes out to your asset manager emails. Okay? Another hourly thing that you can do. And this is doing things over and over again. If you do this for 5 weeks, if you do this for a full, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, you're going to have a lot more success if you do it on a weekly basis versus the person who does it once and then complains. And that's what I see happening the majority of the time out there with investors, especially newbies and other people that aren't committed to it. They don't do it more than once. They want instant success. I sent one email. I only got 3% open rate. It doesn't work. You were successful for 3%. What's that 3% mean to you? Did you follow up with that 3%? No. Then you just are your own worst enemy. You just shot your own self in the foot. So things to keep in mind with it. Send an email blast out to your asset managers and your contacts. That's 2 hours. Okay. That's 2 hours to do one email each. Okay. Second day, spend 2 hours on LinkedIn connecting with asset managers. Okay. Maybe you jump over another day, you spend time looking for real estate investors or note investors to expand your LinkedIn profile. Now, some people are going to ask me, well, Scott, why should I spend more time building my LinkedIn profile when I can't do an easy download and download their email addresses like you used to before Halloween or Thanksgiving last year? Because it still works. It's still the best place to do it. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy Facebook. I enjoy Bigger Pockets. I enjoy LinkedIn. I enjoy Twitter. I enjoy Instagram. But nothing is as powerful as using LinkedIn in your note in real estate business. It still is the best place to go. Not everybody uses it, but it is still very powerful to use. Now, another thing you could do, you could go another 2 hours out of your work week or your evenings. This is not 2 hours. You could go to buffer.com. Buffer.com, free to set up for you guys initially. Most of you just need the free version where it shares it to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. Okay? Just create a couple infographics, a couple images. You can talk about an article. Okay? Find something on USA Today Finance or find something on DS News or find something on housingwire.com and set up to share that article 4 or 5 times throughout the week. Okay? Share it at 6 o'clock at night or at 7 p.m. at night to those platforms because that's where people are in bed looking at their stuff. Do that. Okay? Share it at noon every day. Okay? Share it once or twice. All right? You do the same thing on Twitter and share it across the board. I would share the same article a couple times each day just because Twitter is such up and down. Okay? You can pre-schedule these things for you. All right? So that's figuring out what's going on. If you need some help, do yourself a favor and download the daily calendar. Now, what's a daily calendar? I mean, that's literally type in what day of the week is or what holiday of the year is today. And there's a whole calendar of National Margarita Day, National Secretary's Day, National Shop Locally Day, National Martini Day, whatever. You can do whatever. And those are really simple things that you combine with the day of the week, the daily holiday, whatever it is, some news, DS News, like I said, housingwire.com, USA Today, share those nuggets there, and then just share something about you. Take a picture, share your personal. I mean, if you have a farm where you got little chickens running around, hey, down on the farm, here's what we're doing. Here's some of the things we got going on. Here's accomplishments we're doing not only in our business life, but also in our personal life. Because people want to buy into you. They want to buy into you. All right. And what happens, as we mentioned before, people want to hang around or work with people who are actually taking action and doing things. Okay. Maybe you share a book that you enjoy. God knows most of us are readers. Leaders are readers. So share a book that you liked. Hey, I'm reading this book this week. Or here's my book of the month that I'm reading. Start your own book of the month club. You could be a book of the month club of one. All right. But share what's been your biggest accomplishment this week and share your wins. Share your wins, even though they may be little. Okay. Little initially, a little bit of success adds up to a big amount of success over long term. Okay. So let's do this. Like I said before, I wanted at the end of 1 year to be direct to 100 asset managers. And I use this LinkedIn strategy that by the time 1 month rolled around, I was already connected to 100 asset managers. I was like, oh my gosh, this is working. So then I reset my goals. I challenged myself to be connected to 1,000 asset managers at the end of year one. Now I hit that number, but it became a much more realistic. I stretched myself. I got outside my comfort zone. All right. And it led to a lot of success. And anytime you get out your comfort zone, you're not only going to grow as an entrepreneur, okay, you're going to have more success because you're not going to limit yourself. And I was talking to my trainer, Thomas Nee, at lunchtime as we're working on talking about things. And our minds are our biggest limiting factor. They're our biggest hurdle because we have to get beyond what we think we know. And sometimes we don't know what all we can accomplish because we set ourselves with limiting beliefs. We have our safe spot, our safe space, okay? And as I like to say, fear is false evidence appearing real. We like to tie ourselves in or imprison ourselves in this jail of fear, okay? Oh, no, I can't do that. I couldn't do that. Somebody might get mad. Well, yeah, but what if not everybody got mad, but a lot of people pushed you to other things? And that's what you have to realize, okay? I see some people out here watching. I'm so excited you guys are joining here today. Thank you so much for watching this live. Thank you for listening to this. I believe that everybody can achieve things. I believe we all can do more than what we're doing. I believe I can do more than what I'm doing. You know, one guy asked me today on a phone call, oh my gosh, you're all over the place. When do you have time? I'm like, because I only spend about an hour a day on marketing. Everything else is my team doing it. I just outsource stuff to my team, my podcast production company. Shannon in my office has my marketing. All right. I handle other, I have VAs that are doing stuff for me. I've trained them to make things happen, but I had to show them how to do it first. I had to train them, okay? Train them how to do it, all right? So that's what I'm trying to get at everybody out here. You don't have to have a huge team. You don't have to be, you can be an army of one, okay? By simply taking time and putting things in place each day. But book your schedule. Tell your spouse, hey, honey, we'll come home. We're going to have dinner. I get home about 6:30 every night, have dinner by 8:30. I'm going to spend an hour, hour and a half working on something, or from 10 to midnight or 9 to 11. I'm going to spend an hour, 2 hours working my business because this is something I want to accomplish. And here's why this is important. And share your goals, share your strategy, put it on the freaking wall. I want to be connected to 100 asset managers in month one. It's not that hard to do. All right. You could do it alone on LinkedIn. Now, as you add more connections, LinkedIn's going to give you a little bit more flexibility. What do I mean by flexibility? Well, they're going to allow you to connect with more people. As you make more connections, they're going to give you a percentage increase. Usually, they'll only let you to connect with about 10% of your existing connections. So if you only got 500 people, expect to be kind of shut down after 50 connections. That's okay. Just keep connecting. And the beautiful thing is you can go back and see who you've connected and see how far away you send a connection to, and then go cancel that connection. That's what I do. When I get a database in of investors or people, I will upload them 2,000 to 2,500 at a time in a LinkedIn, send invites out to them, see if they respond. If they don't respond after a month, I'll cancel it and resend it. If they don't return within the next 30 days, then I just cancel it, move on. Next. We have plenty of people out there to connect with, whether it's, like I said, special assets, secondary marketing, real estate investors, note investors, okay? So one of the great stories I was reading about this weekend, actually, is there's an article about Luol Deng, who's a NBA basketball player, okay? He went to school at Duke University, and he's been in the NBA for about a dozen years now. He used to play for the Chicago Bulls, one of my favorite teams. And he's made about $152 million in salaries as an NBA player since he started. Well, what he has done, he's leveraged what he's made and turned it into a $125 million portfolio of real estate, of apartments, hotels, rentals. He's done a great job of doing it. He's leveraged that. But his full-time gig is playing in the NBA. Now, let's face it, you make $151 million, you're probably going to chill around most people. You're going to have some fun. This guy has done an amazing job of building a real estate portfolio and doing some big things. Year by year and a half ago, we had Fred Broyles on, also, who's was a wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, all-time record keeper for most receptions in the NCAA, played at University of Oklahoma. It's a Boomer Sooner. We had him on, and he talked about the fact that he took all his money, his big salary, a couple $1,000,000 each year, and he put it to the side where him and his wife lived on $60,000 a year. Okay? They were smart. They've leveraged that into businesses. They own a restaurant in Norman at the stadium. They own a bunch of other stuff in Norman, Oklahoma. He's accumulating $1 million plus portfolio in real estate because he's doing it a little bit at a time. Okay? If you have to realize, everybody, a little bit at a time, one asset at a time. And that's the whole goal. A lady asked me, well, how do I get a list of assets? How do I connect with banks? You got to reach out. You're not going to sit here. They're not going to just reach out and call Glenn. They're just not going to reach out and call Karen. They're not going to reach out and just call Tony. They're not going to call just Rob by just sitting there and you being like Jane Grey from X-Men. You will call me with your asset manager list. I am commanding you. Okay? It doesn't work that way. This is why you've got to get in front of them in some sort of fashion. That's why, like I say, you got to market. You got to do the little things on a regular basis. That means connecting with them. That means sending them an email. That means making a phone call. Okay? Using some technology things to do it. And yes, is it going to cost you some money to do this? Yeah. It's marketing. It's a cost of business. If you got 5,000 connections, it's going to cost you, $100 a month with a MailChimp account. And you know what? You paying for it is going to make you use it more. So you scheduling the time in your calendar each day, doing the same thing with your 2 hours at night is going to force you to do something. You're going to see success by doing the same things over and over again. And that way, you look back 5 weeks from now, or a month from now, or 6 months from now, and you look at all the connections you've made, you'll be like, oh my gosh, this actually works. This actually stuff does work. This is how you find deals that nobody else is doing. Because why? Nobody else is doing this stuff. People preach, you can't buy assets from the bank. Yes, you can. You can. You're not going to buy from Bank of America, Chase, or Citi. There are plenty of other institutions. There are plenty of other investors out there. Plenty of companies that want to move assets. That if you just do the things you do and stick to it and remove your distractions. Look, if you're trying to be a wholesaler and a fix and flipper and an apartment investor and a note investor, note investing is going to get the short stick on that. Why? Because it's a different mindset, it's different marketing, it's different philosophy. Okay? As a note investor, it's really got to be your full-time, it's be your sole focus when it comes to real estate investing. Because you're going to find other excuses to go do other things that seem to drive more traffic. Yeah, it's going to feel great to go out and shove 100 bandit signs in. Yes, I did something. I got some phone calls off it. You got a phone call that a person may have one deal. When if you spend the time reaching out to the banks and the asset managers, yeah, you might get one phone call, but that one phone call could lead to deals every month, every quarter. You're further up the food chain. You're further up the ladder. You're closer to the sources because all the fix and flippers, all the REO people, all the people looking for distressed assets are down at the bottom level. They're all at, like if it was Louisiana, they're all down there in Louisiana in the bayou with the gators snapping at everybody. You don't want to be down in the bayou. No, you want to be up at Lake Minnetonka, upriver in Minnesota, at the mouth of the Mississippi. Not in the bottom. You want to be at the mouth of the Mississippi, direct to the banks. 6, 12, 18, 24 months ahead of where everybody else is fighting down here at the bottom. People don't realize this. This is how it flows. It starts with a non-performing note, and that's where it goes. Okay? Everybody's in the note business. You're just in the wrong side of the cash flow, everybody. And that's what you have to realize. Now, yes, have we seen some pricing increases take place? Yes. Has the market got a little bit tighter as less defaults are happening? Yeah, but there's still millions of notes being originated, and we're still seeing a 3 to 3.5% default rate, depending on who you talk to. And even on the owner finance side of things, there's default rates with owner finance notes. Great. So you use that to find one asset. Great. Move on to the next one. I just happen to like going direct to the source. Maybe it's the fact that I'm from Minnesota originally. I have dipped my waters in Lake Minnetonka, walked across the stone path. You have to realize, guys and gals out there, the investors that are all across the country, I don't care what state you're in, what excuses you want to give yourself, the things that I just outlined reaching out to asset managers, using the lead fuse, jumping on the county records, the county clerk or the appraisal districts, not only to find note sellers or people who originated or who are selling their notes, but also finding IRA investors. That's the lifeblood of our business. If you do those things and then make a phone call, or with the IRA investors, you reach out with a direct mail piece or try to track them down online, you'll be surprised. A lot of people are doing this business, buying assets. You don't need a lot of money. They're putting some deals together, or they're partnering with other investors and they're going and buying together. That's how you really leverage your time. Okay? If you're a part-time investor, find somebody else at your local REIA club, or find somebody else who went to the Note Expo or the Distressed Mortgage Expo, or who was on Note Camp. Find somebody else who's in the same space as you are and reach out to them and be accountability partners. Hey, what'd you get this week done? Or be competitive, do a little gamification. Hey, I challenge you. Who's going to get the most LinkedIn connections? And then you know what? Maybe you share. Hey, you get 100, I'll get 100. Okay? You get 75, I'll get 75 this week. All right? Well, hey, here's a list of 1,000 people that have bought and sold notes in this one county in the last 3 months. You take the first half, I'll take the second half, and see if we can't find contact info. That's how you get ahead. You leverage yourself. Yeah, I know you may only have 10 hours a week or less, but maybe you find somebody else who's got 10 hours a week or less. Now you got 20 hours going into your business. And you're working together. You're rowing in the same direction. You're believing in co-opetition. Cooperating to work together, but also very competitive in your own nature. Row the boat. Row the same direction. Okay? Coach PJ Flick from the University of Minnesota Golden Gophers, previously from the University of, what is he from? Michigan, Central Michigan University, CMU. That's his thing. Row the boat. Row the boat in the same direction. And that's what's so great about the note business, is that if you do that, if you're rowing in the same direction as a lot of other people and you're leveraging each other's times, you can make this happen. I mean, that's what we believe in, having the WCN Crew Facebook group. Okay? It's a private group. It's there for people to share resources. It's there so that your learning curve isn't 6 months, but maybe it's 60 days. Success is not going to be overnight. This is not a get-rich-quick business. This is a build wealth business. Who would turn down $250 a month coming in from a deal? I wouldn't. $250 a month, that's $3,000 a year. It's $90,000 over 30 years. You doesn't take too many of those to add to your financial independence. If you want to really look at what you're doing, do yourself a favor. Take how much you want to make in the next 12 months, divide that number by 50. So if you wanted to make $100,000, divide that by 50 weeks. That means you got to make $2,000 a week. Okay? $2,000 a week. Well, if you're working full time, that's 40 hours a week. That means you're worth $50 an hour. Okay? $50 an hour. That means anything that you would be doing that would cost you less than that, you delegate. Outsource if you can. If finances are tight, I know initially you're going to do some stuff, but you should write that $50 an hour is what you're worth. The only way you're going to be able to really capitalize on your time is if you take your time seriously, and that's the only way others will take your time seriously. Okay? So figure that out. What do I need to do? Okay? If I want to bring in $10,000 a month, that's roughly $8,500. If I want to bring in $100,000 a year, that's roughly $8,500 a month. That's roughly $2,100 a week. My math is off on that. If you want to make $8,500 a month, divide that number by 500. What's that come to? 17 notes. 17 notes times 500 is going to bring in $8,500 a month for you. Okay? That's not bad. 17 note deals. You could do 2 a month, and within 8 months, you're getting pretty close to where you need to be financial-wise, or to be able to make that leap to full-time. I'm not telling you to go quit your job. That would be the worst thing for you if you have no marketing and done nothing to set yourself up. But you have to look at yourself. If you've been toiling for the last 6 months, last year, look at what your actions have been. If you're all over the place, like I asked some people this weekend, hey, do you do the same thing every week? No, we don't have any type of schedule. I'm like, that's why you're floundering. You're drifting. You're drifting. You're not being focused. You don't have to do a million things. You do 4 or 5 things and do it on a regular basis. Do it and do it and do it and do it well. It sounds like Ben Stiller from, what's the movie? Do it. Starsky and Hutch. Do it now. Do it now. You're all capable of doing these things. I don't care how old you are. Everybody's capable of doing the same things I just shared. I'm not talking about being fancy on YouTube. I'm not talking about being fancy on Facebook. I'm not talking about being fancy on anything else. I mean, a YouTube video would help you draw audiences a whole lot faster for you, grow your audiences. But if you don't want to do that, then do your LinkedIn, do your emails, and reach out to people and be smart. I'd rather send an email blast out to 1,000 asset managers and then 24 hours later look to see who actually opened the email. And that's who I would call. And those will be great relationships. Or those would be the people that I reach out to LinkedIn as well as the ones I send out. Because those are people who have actually opened it. And if you follow up with them again and say, hey, I just wanted to reach out to you. I saw that you opened my email. Love to schedule a time with you. Boom. That sets yourself above as being more professional than somebody just sending an email out once and walking away. Somebody just sends an email and doesn't do anything to follow up. You have to follow up. That's how you get successful in this business. Heck, half the deals we buy are from deals that we follow up with on stuff that didn't get approved the first time around, or they didn't accept our bids. And I followed up a month later. I followed up 2 weeks later. Hey, did you buy that deal? Did that deal close? Oh, it didn't close. Why? Oh, the potential buyer found the stuff that was wrong that we found the first time. Sounds like my bid looks a whole lot better now, doesn't it? But that's the thing too. You have to make offers. You're going to learn more than any book, any note buying blueprint training, any workshop webinar. You're going to learn more by actually taking the time to make offers. What does that mean? It means making offers. If you want to close on 17 deals to get to $8,500 in cash flow, that means you need to make 170 offers. What? Yeah, it's 10 times what your number should be is on average. Okay? Now, if you're using other people's money, double that number. So if you need to close on 17, but you need to use other people's money, that means you need to close on 34 because you figure you're going to have half going out in cash flow, payments, and things like that. So it means you need to make 340 offers in your first year. Well, that's 30 offers a week. Sorry, 30 offers a month, not 30 offers a week. That's like 7-8 offers a week. Everybody can do that. But it all starts on the front end. You have to heavily load your front end with potential leads, bankers, asset managers, hedge fund, assignment of mortgage lists. Those things are going to be the best way to do it. Going on to Bigger Pockets and asking questions about who has deals, nobody's going to answer that. Going on to Facebook groups and asking, hey, who's got an asset manager they want to buy? No, not going to work. Now, one thing you can do is I like looking to see who's closed on deals. Like if I bid on a tape 6 months ago, I'll go back and look at that addresses and see who were the institutions that bought those notes and then contact the institutions directly. Hey, I saw that you bought a tape 6 months ago. Would you be interested in selling a chunk of that off? That's a very powerful tool. If you get an old list and look to see who's the owner, who did the assignment of mortgage on any of those assets, if anybody bought, reach out to those institutions. Everybody's a buyer, everybody's a seller. Of course, everybody has a funding source that we know. So that's the biggest thing. Marketing is great, but those are the simple things you need to market for deals in the note business. Not writing yellow letters or mailing postcards or door knocking or putting out bandit signs. That's great for traditional real estate investors. They need to do all that extra work because there's lack of deals for most people. If you're a note investor, if you're dealing direct with banks and asset managers, it's all smart these days. Smart marketing. Emails, LinkedIn. I mean, heck, you could jump on Lane Guide and buy that for $165 a year and start tracking down asset managers' phone numbers and emails that way. You could jump on Distress Pro by Brett Palumbo, DistressPro.com, and see the service that he does that looks at quarterly reports and then connects that to LinkedIn to find somebody to reach out to. Note investing is the graduate level. It's the PhD, the doctorate level of real estate investing. Okay? Yeah, it's a one contact leads to many, not one contact leads to one. Because if that's the case, that's not duplicable. You have to constantly be doing over and over marketing again and again and again to reach that. It's not the case. Note investing, it's all about online marketing. You can learn this stuff. LinkedIn, email, and then phone calls and following up with people out there to make it happen. Because I guarantee you, they get the third or fourth or fifth email from you, and it looks the same, with the same logo, same colors, and you're following up again and again. You know what they're going to do? They're going to reach out to you. Okay, I got something. I may have something. I finally have something for you. Why? Because you didn't give up. You're a bulldog. And I'm not the smartest person in the room. I just know what works. I see what I've tested. I've done over a decade of marketing in the real estate field. I've gone from the downturn and worked through this. A lot of people in the note space have only been around a couple of years on an upside. That's not the same thing as learning how to market directly. And I am proud of the fact that we have a lot of students closing deals because they learn. They're marketing. They've got the email that goes out. They're reaching out to asset managers. They're getting lists that nobody else is seeing because they're doing the things that need to be done to be successful. Ryan Harper, I see Ryan Harper joined us. Hey, bud. I feel smarter listening to you is what he says, which is kind of funny, bud. Great stuff there, man. Keep up the good work. But what I want to get at, guys, as we kind of come to the end of this hour of this episode of the Note Closer Show, is set yourself some realistic expectations. Challenge yourself to make 100 connections, 100 invites on LinkedIn to asset managers, or do it to note investors or real estate investors. Pick your poison. It doesn't matter. You're going to have success with either one of those three, okay? Pick it. Set it 100 contacts a month. I can do this. At the end of 12 months, you're going to be over 1,000 connections. And those are going to be great relationships. You're not going to buy something from everyone every month, but maybe when they have something and they see you've made that connection, seen the follow-up, you're the person that they call. Because one of the things that I do is as asset managers we're connecting, I take them out of my general email database and I just follow up with them. Hey, just wanted to touch base, see if you had anything on your books this month. Reached out last month to you. Just wanted to follow up to see what you have on your portfolio that we can take a look at and create a win-win scenario for you. All right. Everybody, it is the summer. I know it's easy to take time off. I know it's easy to slack and say, oh, I'll do this later. It's too hot. I don't want to do any work. Trust me, we all struggle with those things. We all struggle with being focused on things. It's easy to do that. But make sure if you can do anything, make sure you set aside 2 hours a day, Monday through Thursday, an hour or two on Saturday, an hour or two Sunday. Trust me, you'll feel so much better about your journey. You'll feel so much better about the actions you're taking to have success. And if you do it again and again and again and again, you're going to see activity again and again and again. You're going to feel a lot more motivated to keep going. You can't focus on, oh, I'm going to do this once. If it doesn't work, I'm going to give up on it. If that's the case, then you need to quit while you're ahead and go do something else, because I sure as hell don't want to waste my time with you. All right? Don't want to waste my time. Go ahead and unsubscribe, unfollow, turn the channel, whatever. But I promise you that if you do these things and you do it on a regular basis and you time block your schedule to knock 2 to 3 hours, an hour is better than nothing, okay? 30 minutes is better than nothing. A little bit goes a long way. My trainer likes to joke, hey, the weight didn't go on overnight. It's not coming off overnight. Strength isn't going to go on overnight, okay? You got to do a lot of push-ups, and this is doing the push-ups every night before you go to bed. This is doing the marketing push-ups, the sit-ups, so that your note business is in a much healthier spot than being something that's not doing any focus. So, guys, gals, thank you again for listening. As always, if you'd like more information, check out my ebook by going to the noteblueprint.com/free ebook. Love to have you guys there. As always, check out our training at noteblueprint.com. Noteblueprint.com. There's no www in front of it. So noteblueprint.com to find out our amazing training. And then as always, for more information, you can always text the word notes to Sunny 2000. If you're driving, please don't wreck. Text the word notes, NOTES, to 72000, and you'll get a ton of information from our Note Night in America videos that way. All right, guys and gals, go out, make something happen, and we'll see you all at the top. Bye.